To crop a video, you gotta go in effects, go in effects control on the left side, and drag on the crop effect plugin into it, and you go on the top right here, and then you go into effect controls, and crop should be here. If you don't see it, make sure you just drop it down, and from here you could crop the video left, top, right, and bottom. And with all these you could keyframe. So let's pretend like from here I go like 5 seconds, I don't know, like a little bit ahead. I could crop it about halfway, and then boom. Yeah, so that's the crop effect. You could use that if you want to do transitions from one scene to another, and you can really just play around with that. With link and unlinked video, all you have to do is right click on your media, your sequence, and hold it all the way down until, where is it at?
It's under enable.
Yeah, and you press unlink, and then the video is completely separate from the audio. As you can hear, yeah, that's simple enough. You just gotta make sure when you right click, you look, and if you want to put it back together, you drag over the two clips, go down, and then you press link to link it back together. But make sure when you link, the audio and the video is dragged all the way to the left, or they're just aligned. Let me show you what I mean when I say that. Aligned as in when you drag it, that little black bar pops up, and that's how you know if it's aligned or not. And then right here, boom, and then you could just link it again. That was the next one.
They got autosave.
Autosave.
That's Command S, right?
Command S. Command S is to save it, but for autosave is really important for when you're editing and you don't feel like saving every 5 minutes. It just does it for you without you even having to press anything.
That's it.
Yeah, settings, and go general. Any of these doesn't matter because it pops up a big menu of all the different options and like customizations you do to Premiere to make it however much you want. And in the test, I remember it asking you, you got to make sure you read during the test though. If you don't read, then you're gonna miss out on like a bunch of key features that it's asking for, because you might go ahead and just read it one time, do it the way you think it's supposed to be done, and then at the very end, it just turned out to be wrong because you were missing the small details. Make sure you read over the questions a bunch of times. That's what I was doing during the test to make sure that I got the part correct. Because if you don't read over it, you might miss out on key features that's asking for. For this one, it's pretty self-explanatory. This is a check that just auto-saves it. If you don't have this on, I'm not sure it's gonna auto-save. Put that on, it automatically saves your project. And this right here, it's basically saying how often do you want to save. Do you want to save it every 5 minutes? Do you want to save it every minute? Do you want it to save it every 10 minutes? And I would suggest you putting it as low as possible, but you also got to remember it saves, but there's a maximum of project versions, meaning it saves 20 times, right? It saves every 5 minutes 20 times, and then it deletes all the past 20 and makes a new set of 20. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. And you just gotta make sure you have this to a number you like. You can have it to 1 minute, but I mean that's a little extra. And if you have it too long of an autosave, like every 30 minutes, that could be bad, because imagine you're working on a video, and then your application crashes, and you didn't get to autosave in time because you have it set to only 30 minutes. That would be bad, because all your past work you're gonna have to do all over again because you made the time too large. So that's why I have it at 5 minutes. And during the test, it tells you to change this right here, this top section. I don't know if it tells you to leave the bottom to change the bottom section at all.
You can't change the 20.
Oh, you can. You can change it to like however much you want, but it's just gonna make like a bunch of copies, and that might waste some of your storage. Again, for this one, you go where the Premiere Pro icon is, like where it says Premiere Pro. Go in settings. You could go straight to autosave here, but it also doesn't matter which one you press because it's all in one place. And yeah, that's where you find autosave.
It says adjustment layer, lumetri color.
For this one, adjustment layers are really easy. All you have to do is just go into project on the left bottom side, and when you're here, right click on the empty space, new item, and then you make an adjustment layer. This one doesn't really matter. You could adjust the frames, you could adjust the height, how big you want the effect. Adjustment layer is just something you put on top of your video, and you could put like a bunch of, like you could put a crop on your adjustment layer and it affects the videos underneath it. And it's really important if you want to just have like, instead of you copy and pasting effects on individual clips, you can have a bunch of adjustment layers, and every adjustment layer can have different effects on it. So yeah, this is very important when it comes to like editing, especially if you want to do like some crazy stuff. You just drag the adjustment layer on top of your original audio, original clip, right? And you go for the luminosity, you go over here in effects, right? Also, these could drop down, and you could just select it from here, but it's way easier to just search it. What was it?
Lumetri.
Match.
Isn't it in presets?
I think it's asking for you to put it. Yeah, I think it's asking you to put it on top of the like in the adjustment layer. Again, that's another key feature you gotta make sure you read. Adjustment layer, and then you drag on the luminosity color on into the adjustment layer, not onto the clip itself. Make sure you don't get that confused, and make sure if you ever have like two of the same effects and you want to delete one, all you have to do is just delete it. You don't gotta stress about that. Just click on it and just delete it. And then from here you could just like do simple corrections, as in temperature. This only affects the adjustment layer, by the way, so if you remove this, it doesn't affect the original clip, only the adjustment layer. And you could just reset it right here, and yeah, that's the adjustment layer and luminosity colors. Simple. And also you can just delete this too. Like, let me show you. This is like, let me do like a landscape image. Like something like this one would be an extremely far shot, because you're far. Let's pretend this the mountains are the main part of this image. You're super far away. This is an extremely far shot.
Perspective. Close up.
This would be a close-up shot because you're right in front of the person you're trying to record. Like this one would be considered an extremely close shot because you're right in front of them. You're super close to like their face, like especially their eye. And this is like a close shot. It's like of the key subject you're trying to record. Perspective. I don't remember there being a question about perspective. Do you remember? Was there a question about
I
perspective?
don't think there was.
Yeah, I don't remember any.
There was only. I only remember the close-up shot, the extreme, the far one, and the mid one.
Yeah. And also, when it comes to these different shots, if you don't know if it's extreme, far, the far ones should be easy because those ones are far away from the subject. You gotta just like, when you're looking at these images, figure out what's the main thing that the image is like talking about. Like, if it's asking a wide shot, look for like the mountains in the background, for example, and you could use that as your base to figure out if it's far, close, you know, stuff like that. And you could always just do the ones that are the easiest first. This is what I did. I did the ones that were the easiest first, and the ones that were harder, they naturally fit themselves because you just like, you know, eliminated the ones that didn't really match. This next one.
It says merge audio and video.
Oh, I kind of already did that earlier.
That was the link.
Yeah. No, it was merge audio. Oh, okay. I know what it is now. Okay. Nike commercial and this audio I just downloaded. You're gonna press shift, and select the original one, this audio track, and the Nike commercial ad clip, and right click, and then right here it says merge clip. And from this point you can name it, and the test, I remember asking you to name it something, so you're gonna name it what it tells you to name, to the exact, the capitalization, the spacing, all that. And it asks you, it says synchronize point, make sure synchronize point's right here, and it tells you to to put it endpoints. I'm pretty sure it says endpoints. This one right here. And then for the rest, I'm not sure it tells you to do anything, but you could make sure to read it and see if it tells you to do any more. I'm pretty sure it asks you to also to put it on an audio track, but no, it doesn't. Only endpoint. I remember it telling me endpoint, the title, change up the title to what it tells you in the test, and audio, I don't remember, but if it does say something about audio, the audio section's right here. This is all the synchronized points, and this is the audio. And it says I got tripped, I got messed up a little bit because he said audio, and I thought he meant this right here. No, it's the audio. It's talking about here, and an audio should say like this right here and this right here. But yeah, that's simple enough, and you can press OK to finalize it. What's the next one?
Aspect ratio.
I don't remember saying anything about aspect ratios.
No? Okay, maybe that's a question in the first section. Like the 16 by 9, 4 by 3.
20. Wait. You said 16 by 9 and
The aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Sometimes they give you like squares, and then you select which one belongs to what. So that's maybe the aspect ratio question.
I don't even know how to describe
you
it.
wouldn't think they'd go in depth with them though.
Hmm?
You wouldn't think they'd go like too crazy into them.
I think they're
I
like,
think it'd only do like 16, 9, and
yeah, they don't go crazy when it comes to like 21 and 9, all this right here. They mostly focus about 16, 9, 4, 4 and 3. These are like the main two ones he was talking about.
yeah.
And for aspect ratios, I just view it as like resolutions. Like 1080 by 920p is 16 by 9. That's how I remember it. I don't really look at the numbers per se. And during the test, I don't really remember a lot, but I'll just say study up on the aspect ratios. Just do a quick Google search like I just did and look at like an image like this. And aspect ratios, it just formats your video to like a certain, like a box, like 4.43 aspect ratio is just like a square. This is a square. 16 by 9 is more of a rectangle, and 21 by 9 is more stretched out, a longer rectangle. But from what I remember, I put this one, and this one's too small, and this one's very large, and this one's like 4K. That one's just the opposite. It's more stretched out. But yeah, I don't really worry about these ones. I just worry about these two.
These questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else we have?
Pixel dimensions.
Pixel dimensions. I think pixel dimensions is
That's like 8 by 64.
yeah, I think it's the size of like like stuff like that. Like if you're recording a video,
I believe that 1920 by 1080.
yeah, 1920 by 1080.
Or 680 by 740, depends of the pixels, depends of the squares that they have. So
Yeah.
you can put like Adobe Premiere pixel size, and then they're gonna give you like the right.
Drag selection forward tool.
It says rolling edit, slip, and rate stretch.
This is simple. This is a select tool. Rolling edit. It's just track selection. Don't know what this does. Okay, it does that. The test doesn't really talk about this though. This feature right here doesn't talk about this one. When you're in between it, what's that? This one you could just drag one of the sides over here, and just deletes and fills in the gap of the original clip. For example, like if I can't delete that side. It only has to be from, if there's a clip here, you can only drag it to the left, but you can't do the same on this side, because it's only selecting this one. You can't do it on here because you can't drag forward, but you only could do it from this side. And when you drag, it deletes, fills in the gap with this original clip. It doesn't delete any from here, but it deletes the clips from here. You could always drag it back. And if you ever mess up, you could do Control Z to go back, and Control. Split is easy, and also some of these questions you could just hover over it. For split, I think it's talking about the razor tool. That's how you split. It cuts the audio in half. Self-explanatory. Rate stretch. Did he ask you a question about rate stretch? rate stretch tool. I don't remember asking me a question about rate stretch. I really don't. Doesn't like make it faster. Oh, rate stretch tool. It makes your original clip faster. So let's just drag it back by half. It speeds up your clip because the clip looked like this before, and this is what it looks like now. It just speeds up your clip, and I'm pretty sure you could drag it forward too. Let me link these back together. Again, selection tool right here. Go down, link, and with the rate stretch tool selected right here, you could also, you can't drag it forward because you know there's not enough footage for that, but you could always drag it back, and it just makes your original clip way faster. That's the rate stretch tool. Effects on video. Effects are very self-explanatory. There's a whole panel right here to find your effects, and if you can't find it, you could always go in Windows. There's a bunch of settings here, and effects. Let's pretend like you accidentally close it. All right, you close the panel.
The workspaces too.
Here, workspaces, and go and editing. Let me go into a different one. See if it resets. So I go in color. All right, and then I go back to editing. Oh, it doesn't show. But if this happens, you could always go in Windows and just press effects here. And if it pops up, let's pretend it pops up right here. You could also adjust. You could put it wherever you want, and you could just drag it back down. And you could also move it around to wherever you want. And all the effects you could possibly want are all here. Let's pretend I put an adjustment layer on top. All right. All the effects. Let me go in video, not audio. Video effects, blurs, directional blur, all the effects you could possibly want and need are all here. And again, you could just go in effects controls and you could just adjust right there. The effects are found here.